8Ks, 7 walks. But you get a look there at his 2022 season when he was a bit of a unexpected gem that the Vikings found early on in the year. Somebody who was expected to be a reliever and wound up becoming the ace starter by the time Big 8 play rolled around. So he will be the man on the bump here for the DVC Vikings as we get ready for first pitch from Vikings Park. Top of the first, rather. And we are about to get underway. And we'll have the pitch camera for you here today as he looks to dig in against the first hitter, the leadoff man, Chris Catalano, the center fielder for this club. He takes the first delivery low for ball 1, 1:02 p.m. We are underway here from Vikings Park. Glad to have you with us. Nowhere better to be on a Saturday afternoon than the park. Tapped right back to Neely for the first out as he'll underhand flip that to Christian Herkeme over at first base. So Catalano, the sophomore out of Folsom, also known as an edge case when it comes to trying to make Excel files since he wears number 0, although admittedly you guys would be hard-pressed to tell what number anyone's wearing because these jerseys are a little low on contrast. Just the sort of thing that a commentator tends to notice. We've got the black head-to-toe cap, jersey, pants, for many of them also shoes, because why go halfway? And then the dark purple numbers with no piping around them. So as we've got a moment's delay here waiting for a door out in left field to be closed, and we'll get back underway. Neely will now dig in against Neal. Neal on Neely. Andrew Neal, somebody who has spent some time as a pitcher as well as a DH over the course of this. So kind of the Shohei Ohtani, I suppose, of this team. He is hitting from the left side. Not quite so high in stature, 5'11", sophomore out of Folsom, but trying to do his best Ohtani impression. Puts one in the air to the right field side. That's not going to get past the men out there. Chase Hildy able to chase that one down. And it's 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the first. That's going to bring up JT Walden, and Walden's somebody who finds himself at the top of a lot of leaderboards in the Big 8 statistically this season. In fact, reasonably near the top of a lot of them just in terms of state leaders. He's batting .430 on the year, which ranks him 22nd in the state. 29th in on-base percentage and 17th in slugging as he takes the first delivery from Neely off the plate, 1-0. Of most note, he is your state leader in total bases and extra base hits, and he's second in runs scored, along with being 7th in RBIs and 3rd in the Big 8 in that particular number. So you can imagine a great deal of care going to be paid here by Liam Neely to ensure that, well, he doesn't get to do any damage. To be perfectly frank, this is the ideal scenario to face him. 2 down, nobody on. It's interesting that he's managed to maintain all of those statistics, given that the average, the on-base, and the slugging are all down about 30 to 60 points over the course of the last couple of weeks. As he flares that one to left field, that is going to fall just beyond the reach of Jesse Velders, and it'll be a base hit for Walden, first base runner of today's game for the Folsom Lake Falcons, and that'll bring up Logan Sutter. And Sutter certainly someone also worth taking note of. His season stats aren't quite as impressive as JT Walden's. 329, 3 home runs, 24 RBIs compared to 430, 5 home runs, and 30 RBIs. But we'll show you in a moment the kind of production he's been responsible for recently. He's been absolutely swinging a hot bat. In fact, we've got this alongside the Jesse Velder statistics here, but Sutter versus Sierra this week, 5 for 12, all extra base hits, 3 doubles, a triple, a home run, 5 runs driven in. He has been an absolute run production machine. Hits the target, does Neely on that one, and evens the count at 1-1 on Logan Sutter. Walden, for his part, coming in a little bit of a rough patch, 5 for his last 21, so he'll be happy to get that single Even the excuse me variety is pretty useful. On the ground, scooped up by Jesse Velders. He'll take the short out over to second base. Vikings take advantage of a real outage in accuracy from the Folsom Lake Falcons pitching staff to put 5 runs on the board in the bottom of the first. And we head to the second with DVC staked to that 5-0 lead. We've talked a lot about no lead being safe here, but the first step to preserving one is the shutdown inning that succeeds one like that. DVC will look to try to accomplish that, but the first pitch is in the air. That's going to stay in the park, though, easily. Well, off the bat, that looked a lot scarier there off the bat of Nate Vargas, who does have 3 home runs on the season, but that'll just be out number 1. In case you're wondering what cleats on bleachers sounds like, there it is. Coming right into your living room. So 1 down quickly here on the pop-up. That's going to bring up Drake DiGiorno. DiGiorno coming in with a .344 batting average. It's really upsetting reading if you're getting ready to dig in against this team, just looking at the batting averages in this lineup, as it's now 1-1. You go down the line, though, Andrew Neely, .295. He's the only guy hitting under 300, I should say, in the first 7 batters. That one off the plate from Neely, 2-1. I suppose as the game goes along, we'll find out if it's just a super tiny strike zone or if Folsom Lake really were having that much difficulty. DiGiorno, .344, 1 home run and 13 driven in. He's done most of his damage in this week. Yesterday, went 2 for 4 against Sierra in the Folsom Lake win with a double, a run, an RBI, a strikeout, and a walk. Did, however, commit 2 errors and already has 1 today. He'd gone 0 for 6 with 4 strikeouts in the other 2 games of that series, as that one's in the dirt off Neely and Sieg shaking off the contact with his hand. That'll run the count full. Wyatt Reginato and Mitchell Parker. Or excuse me, rather, just Wyatt Reginato would hit coming up forward here. Here comes the payoff pitch from Neely. That one's put in the air to the right side. That's a foul ball, though. We'll reload and do it again. Folsom, an absolutely elite team in batting, as you would assume based on that stat I quoted you a second ago, and they're going to get their first base runner of this inning here with a 1-out walk to Drake DiGiorno. That will bring up Reginato. Gonna need to be a bit quicker of a draw on turning off the field mic if that guy comes by again. That is resounding. That's going to bring up the number 8, Wyatt Reginato, the right fielder, sophomore out of West Valley. He's hitting .414, which is, I'll just say, a luxury for a number 7 hitter. 1 for 5 with an RBI Wednesday, but did not play the last 2 games, so he'll be fresh and raring for the competition. 1-0 the count as Neely misses with his first. DiGiorno over at first base, 4 for 5 on the season in steals. Although the Vikings, with one of the better men in all of the state of California for trying to gun down runners attempting to steal, Sieg, the team as a whole, had the 5th most runners caught stealing in the state. Vikings throwing out 28.6% of would-be base stealers. And the 9 that Sieg has so far is the 4th best individual number in the state. So it could be a fun battle there if someone elects to take off. Sieg needed a moment to find that one, but DiGiorno blocked by the jet black jersey of his teammate there in the left-handed batter's box. Couldn't see well enough to know that he might be able to take off. Yesterday in the first inning, we saw Jacob Courtney take advantage of a ball in the dirt to actually gun down a runner who was a little bit too excited to do that. That is roped to the right side over the glove of Christian Herkame and into the right field corner. Hildy up with it, but it'll be a stand-up double for Wyatt Reginato, his 11th extra base hit of the season. And we've got a threat here now for Folsom Lake College. 2 in scoring position with 1 down on that double. Not a monster of a shock to see Folsom Lake hitting doubles. They come into play today with 59 of them on the season, so make it 60. That ranks 3rd in the state. They've got the 10th most extra base hits in total in California. And they come from all over. That one in the air to the right side, caught by Brandon Marion. And everybody will stay put, out number 2. That sure looked like trouble off the bat of Mitchell Parker, the sophomore out of Jesuit, but denied an opportunity for his 2nd hit of the season. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Oscar Nevares. DiGiorno, your runner at 3rd, Reginato at 2nd. Man at the plate, Nevares, 192 his average on the season, but he does have 7 RBIs. He's made the few hits that he's gotten count. First delivery from Neely off the plate, 1-0. Nevares with a little bit of productivity as a pinch hitter on Thursday and earned him a start on Friday and again here today. 1 for 5 on the week with a double, 2 driven in. And looking to help his team respond to the Vikings. Puts this one in the air. Tough judging there by Fuentes. He went back on it first, but he's got the speed to make it up and make the catch. The little basket grab. Top 3 in the top of the Folsom Lake order coming up, and they have got a hole to dig out of here today in Pleasant Hill. Vikings putting up 5 in the top, or in the bottom of the first, 4 more in the bottom of the second. All 5 runs in the first inning were earned. The 4 in the second are not, as that is in the air to the right side, but the park will hold it. Hildy drifting over to his left, and he'll make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out, as Chris Catalano is now 0 for 2 on the day. That will bring up the number 2 hitter, Andrew Neal. Neal flew out to Hildy himself back in the first inning and did so on the very first pitch he saw. So far, only 2 hitters have really made Liam Neely work. Drake DiGiorno took him to a full count before earning a walk, and Wyatt Reginato saw 4 pitches before his double, but otherwise, through just 3 pitches to Sutter, 3 pitches to Walden, 1 each to Catalano and Neal the first time around. Got Vargas to pop out on the first pitch, Parker to line out on the first pitch, and Navarez to fly out on the second pitch he saw. So, according to the scoreboard right now, just 17 pitches thrown by the man with 17 on his back. His 18th pitch is swung through by Neal, 1-1 the count. Excuse me, 0-2 rather, my mistake. Neal 4 for 7 last week in the Sierra Series with a double and a run scored. That one off the plate, 1-2. So far, Liam Neely looking to eat innings. Has not needed a strikeout just yet to be effective. Has just made a point of getting the players to hit the ball where his fielders are. Here comes the 1-2. There's his first strikeout. Swung on and missed from Andrew Neal. That's 2 down here in the away third. Looking a little bit like the Liam Neely of 2022 here, as he's got the first 2 outs quickly, and yet again will face JT Walden exactly the way you want to. Bases empty, 2 down. First pitch off the plate, 1-0. We talked about Walden being in a little bit of a tough stretch at the moment here, as Neely will deal. 2-0. Even so, even being 6 for his last 22, which is down for him. Even still, you want to be careful with him. You know that he could break out of that at any moment. Puts that one in the air, but gets under it, drifting over his Velders into foul territory, and he will squeeze it just a foot or so into foul territory and bring the inning to an end. A third of the way there, moving on to the top of the 4th inning. Vikings staked to a 2-0 advantage here in Pleasant Hill. Liam Neely continues onward after putting up 3 goose eggs. The Folsom Lake Falcons, courtesy Rico Merlo, have held the Vikings off the board for the first time. They're in the bottom of the 3rd. It will be the middle of the Folsom Lake lineup. Coming up here, Logan Sutter, Nate Vargas, and Drake DiGiorno. And Sutter, interestingly, showing bunt. Perhaps a timing mechanism here as he fouled off the first one. Second pitch is off target, 1-1 the count. So far, Liam has done good work getting those shutdown innings after the Vikings have put up big numbers. Blows that one by Sutter, 1-2. Sutter, as we told you, 5 for 12 this week, all 5 hits for extra bases. Now 5 for 13 after grounding into a fielder's choices last time up. That one into the body of Velders. Good strong throw to his countryman at first. And that is 1 up, 1 down here, and DVC have done a good job thus far navigating the difficult hitters there in the 3 and 4 spots. In fact, interestingly, Walden, Vargas, and Sutter, your 3, 4, 5 hitters, are actually all top 5 in the state in runs scored. It gives you a sense of where things have gone for this team. First delivery to the new man at the dish. Number 21, Nate Vargas, Folsom Lake catcher, popped out to shortstop his first time up. Swings at the 1-0 pitch and fouls that one to the left side. That's going to get over the Folsom Lake dugout. Actually sounds like it landed on the football stands. One delivery coming now from Neely. That one in the dirt, eats up, oh boy, didn't eat up Sieg. It got by Sieg and hit the umpire. And he is going to need a moment right here. And we'll take the opportunity here with a brief pause in play to introduce our guest for today's game, Cristian Machado. The Vikings relief pitcher has been doing some work. You put in 4 solid innings on Thursday, and so as a result, all hands on deck today, but not the ones who are exhausted for good reason.
No, yeah.
So glad you could join us today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So tell me a little bit, Christian, about what brought you here to DVC. What is your personal history here with the game, and what made this a good place for that next step for you?
Well, since high school, I've been talking to DVC, and first I started off at Delta, and then I went to Mission, and then I wanted to move back closer to home, and I just felt like DVC was right. From the first day, everybody was welcoming, everybody was nice. All my teammates are great. I love it here. All the coaches, it's a great place.
That's wonderful to hear, and particularly you mentioned the coaches. Harmon Sadhu, obviously somebody that you work with very closely.
Yeah.
What's your experience been with him? What do you feel like? Feel like you got a good working relationship, improving on certain things?
Sadhu's a great guy. He's a great pitching coach. He always wants the best for us. He pushes us. It may not seem like he doesn't care, but trust me, he cares. He always wants us to do better than he always wants the best for us, and always makes us put in the work. And I honestly think he's a great pitching coach in this league, and he has a bright future for sure. That's for sure.
Well, we're seeing one of his pupils here who made some giant strides in 2022. Liam Neely has been tasked with becoming the 4th starter today for the Vikings after 3 games in 3 days. Before this, he's induced another pop-up to the left side, and that one will be taken down by Brandon Marion. 2 quick outs here for Neely. And, it's quite a role here, the sort of spot start for somebody in the bullpen. Have you had a chance to do a few of those in your high school career, or were you a starter as a high school pitcher?
In high school, I was a starter. All 4 years, I was a starter. The last time I ever started was in high school, so that was about 2 years ago, if you think about it. Yeah, it's for surely hard though. You have to fight each and every inning.
He retired the last 7 in a row.
No, yeah. But yeah, for surely he in his position, well, he pitched, I'm pretty sure Thursday.
Right, I think one inning, yeah.
And he said he felt great, and they gave him the chance today. And today he's starting. He's dealing.
Yeah. What do you like about what you're seeing from him here as he gets ready to dig in against Wyatt Reginato?
I feel like his fastball's working. His changeup is working as well. He's getting a lot of pop-ups. Working quick, efficient. He's doing what he's supposed to do, hitting spots. Well, he's following the game plan basically. And it's working. As you can tell, it's 9-0 through the fourth. Only 33 pitches.
Yeah, we were talking particularly about his just the efficiency that he's had so far. It doesn't seem like Folsom's really making him work a whole heck of a lot today.
No. A lot of flyouts. You see, the ground balls.
Well, flyouts are absolutely not a surprise for this team. They actually on the season, let me find that stat. Where is it? That's right, the 12th most lopsided ground out to fly out ratio in the state of California out of 88 teams. So
wow.
And lopsided to the air side. So
well, I didn't know that.
Definitely their MO. I mean, most people don't know that unless they spend the ridiculous amount of time I do on the 3C28 Sports website. I could probably stand to be a little less obsessed, but when you get a gem like that, you feel like it's worth it.
Yeah, but that makes sense. No wonder they're popping up a lot,
Yeah, getting under quite a bit from Neely so far. He's ahead 0-2, looking to close out this inning and strand that 2-out single over at first. Here comes the delivery to Reginato.
Ooh.
Just off target.
Yeah, close pitch.
I got a third umpire over to my left here who was ready to ring him up, but unfortunately his opinion does not factor into this decision. 1-2 the count now on Neely. Toss over to first. They'll check in on the runner.
Those are pretty good first 2 innings, huh?
Can't go wrong there. I mean, especially if you've got a team that's going to put runners on for you. I think one of the struggles that DVC have had offensively has been not taking advantage of those. That one's in the air to center field. Running in is Williamson. Out is Marion. That one falling in a rough spot.
Oh.
And the catch made, but at what cost? Headed to the top of the 5th inning here, nearly halfway home. The Vikings staked to a 9-0 lead. Liam Neely working well. Jesse Velders squaring balls up. The Vikings showing patience at the plate. Aggression when called for. It's been about as good as 4 innings can be here, especially against a team that is defending their conference title and that played all the way till the final day of 2022, competing and falling ultimately to Riverside in the state championship game. It certainly is one of those things. It's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason that momentum is your next day's starting pitcher.
Yeah.
But Liam putting that on show in absolutely astounding fashion so far today. He's ahead 0-1 on the leadoff man in this 5th inning. Mitchell Parker and pulls the string, gets him to swing through that one. Looks like he got a piece of it, but not enough to get it into fair territory. 0-2 on Parker, who lined out to Brandon Marion on what looked like it was going to be a little single plunked into right field in his first at bat. Brandon quick on his feet. Excuse me, not Marion, my mistake. Horton at second. That one tapped behind the plate. Sieg will give it an escort, but it's on its way towards the football stands. Count remains 0-2 on Parker. So, Christian, what are your plans moving forward? What are you looking to do and build your way towards while you're here at DVC?
Looking to get better each and every day. Eventually to play in the higher level one day. I have plans to coming back next year and playing with,
Oh, in the meanwhile there, just a moment, I thought that was a ball, but a little bit of a delayed strike call. That is Liam Neely's 2nd K of the day and sets down Mitchell Parker. It'll bring up Oscar Navarez. Back to you, Christian.
I have plans coming back here next year and, working with Harmon this summer should be good. I'm really excited for that, just trust them. I love each and every single one of these teammates here. They're all like my brothers. We're close on and off the field,
There's a ball in the air to center field. Williamson on his horse, but he's not going to get there. Nice sliding play, though, to cut that off before it gets to the gap. And that's going to draw some applause from the assembled Vikings fans here, even maybe a couple of the Falcons fans. You got to give it up when somebody does the work like that. What a play by Williamson. And that's got to make you feel good out there,
Oh,
Christian.
yeah.
Having defense like that behind you. Certainly the Vikings have had their issues with errors here and there, but my word, they cover some ground.
That's really big, being able to cut down a double to a single. That's very huge for a pitcher,
It's just how you change the entire
now
course of the inning.
Now you have the opportunity to turn a double play, or
Yeah, you almost feel like you'd like there to be a way to incorporate that in the statistics if it does come to pass. You're like, okay, yeah, if we get a 6-4-3 here, it may as well put an 8 in there somewhere for Jacob's role in it too.
No, yeah, and if he hits a single, he can only get at second base or third instead of scoring.
There you go.
That's big.
0-1 on the leadoff man here. Navarez on base, speared nicely by Sieg. The throw down is going to go into center field. Thought I was waiting on the umpire there as I was shielded by Brandon Marion.
I thought he was out.
It's a good-looking throw, but in the attempt to snap the tag down, the ball got away, so it will instead be the third steal on the season for Oscar Nevarez. Sieg, meanwhile, somebody who you've got to be careful with. The Vikings, a team that folks probably have been running on more than they should, given that DVC are good for throwing out almost 1 out of every 3 base stealers. That one in the dirt, and again speared by Sieg. What a
great block.
A fantastic backhand. That's 2 pitches in a row that Neely has bounced in, and Sieg nearly threw out Navarez on the first one, and on that one keeps him right there at second.
Yes.
Wowee.
Sieg's a really great catcher. Really great catcher.
And so we've got a couple good targets back there for you guys to throw at between him and Jacob Courtney, huh?
Very good.
That one stays high. 3-1 on the leadoff man, Catalano. Catalano 0 for 2 so far on the day. Grounded out to Neely in his first at-bat to lead off the game. Flew out to Chase Hildy, leading off the 3rd inning. Comes up here in an RBI opportunity as Folsom Lake are trying to get off the schneid. Down 9-0 here at Vikings Park. In the top of the 5th. Here comes the 3-1. That's again tapped back to Neely. Checks the runner, but not quite long enough, and now throws the ball by Christian Herkame. And that's going to be an unearned run here as the ball goes into right field. It is out of play, it would appear, and has been signaled a dead ball. And that's going to allow Catalano to move to second on the E1. And Navarez comes in to score the first run of the day for Folsom Lake. And I've said it before here, it's one of the crazier stats here for DVC on the season when it comes to the fielding. They've generally been better than last year. Last year they were a bottom 10 team in terms of fielding percentage. This year they're comfortably in the 50s out of 88 teams at a .950 fielding percentage, but so many of them have been costly. 55 of the 127 runs that DVC have given up this year are unearned. Team finds themselves in 37th place in runs given up. As that ball is bunted over, Neely will get a chance to redeem himself there, and the sacrifice effective, but the play well done there by Neely. And so Andrew Neal moves Catalano over to 3rd base. And you can kind of get a sense there of the just of the confidence of a Rich Gregory, knowing what he has in that dugout. Figures if we can get a couple of runs here, we don't have to worry about the big inning yet. Because we know we've got the lumber down the lineup to potentially put up something in the second half of this game. So we'll play for just the 1 right now. Move the runner to 3rd base here with 2 down. Neely looking to try to atone for his own mistake here, as that one is fouled straight back by JT Walden. Walden of the 30 RBIs so far this season. That total 3rd in the Big 8 and 7th in the state of California. Finds himself in an 0-1 mini hole at the moment. Catalano takes his lead. Walden puts that in the air to right field. Hildy back at the track, but he will make the catch just shy of the wall. And back for the top of the 6th. And we were just talking here in the break about what an absolute boon it is to have a guy like Liam Neely come in for a spot start, 4th game in 4 days, and get all the way into the 6th inning. We were expecting maybe a bullpen relay, 2 innings here, 2 innings there, and kind of try to patch it together. And instead, he has thrown 5 strong innings and now stands in for the 3rd time against the meat of the Folsom Lake lineup. Logan Sutter, Nate Vargas, and Drake DiGiorno here as the 0-1 pitch is into the dirt. Sieg shaking off the hand a little bit. 2nd time we've seen him kind of recoil after blocking one of these.
I have a question. What is your favorite sport? At a football,
Oh, dear.
basketball,
It really depends on the month.
baseball? Yeah.
I mean, the one that's been the undisputed champion for a little bit is cricket.
Cricket?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm super into cricket. It's basically like baseball, but kind of with like anarchy.
Oh, wow.
Like just no foul territory. You know, runs are kind of cheap, but outs are devastating. So
Okay.
the whole feel's different. Like it's such a, the outs are such a big deal that they actually call the bowlers the attack.
Oh,
Which I
wow.
imagine you would dig the feel of.
Yeah.
Having seen the way you operate out there, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think you'd like being called the attack.
The tag. That's good.
So yeah, that's one I'm into. But I do a bunch of stuff here at
yeah.
DVC:
Do you, like-
basketball, soccer,
Do
baseball.
you play
now.
on a cricket league or like for fun?
I would love to. I got into
Oh,
it like
yeah.
3 years ago as just to keep folks updated. Now 1 and 2 that count on Logan Sutter, but. Yeah, it'd be nice to do. I always played recreational softball until I tore my meniscus a couple of years ago. But I figured, yeah, maybe just running in a straight line back and forth would be good for that.
Yeah.
Baseball's the OG for me as Sutter goes down swinging. Currently 5th in the state in most strikeouts, and he adds to that total up to 26 now on the year. And Liam Neely has got his 3rd punch out to start the 5th. 6th, rather, excuse me. Braden, I haven't moved my, I forgot to move my lineup. There we go. Nate Vargas coming to the plate here, the freshman catcher out of Whitney. 397 on the season. So far today, he's popped out twice to the left side of the Vikings infield. First delivery from Neely is over the plate for a strike.
In cricket, is there any home runs?
Yeah, but it's called a 6.
A 6.
Yeah, so
Oh, wow.
basically the kind of the exchange rate is like a single is 1 run, double, you know, you can have single, double, triple. If it rolls to the boundary, as that ball's grounded to the right side to Bryson Horton, up with it and over to Herkame, and that'll be 2 up, 2 down here as Horton takes care of business. But yeah, you basically have like a ground rule double. If it rolls to the boundary, then it's 4, and if it's over the boundary on the fly, it's 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes everything feel like a grand slam. So 2 down here, and it'll be Drake DiGiorno, the shortstop, coming to the plate. He's been aboard twice, walked in his first plate appearance in the 2nd, and singled with 2 down in the 4th. He's been stranded both times as Neely puts another one in the dirt, and you can just get a sense here of the trust that he has to have in Sieg to be throwing the breaking balls there. I mean, obviously right now, no worries about a runner at 3rd or anything, but we did have one over at 3rd a bit, and he was still able to pitch low in the zone with confidence.
Yes, he was.
1-0 the count here with 2 down. DiGiorno lifts that to center field almost in his tracks. Now a couple steps back, and Jacob Williamson makes the catch. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Liam Neely has gone 6 strong here for the green and white average, which, as we mentioned at the time, was an absolute luxury for a number 7 hitter, and he shows you why right there. 2nd hit of the day. He had a double in the 2nd and now leads off the 7th. I didn't catch the number on that, but I don't think it's 11. Try and get that for you in just a moment. Swung on and grounded by the number 16, Brett Griffiths. The opportunity for a double play. Good pick by Herkame, but it's not given over there. That looked an awful lot like the one that was given against Herkame yesterday. An opportunity for 2 there. The grounder up the middle. Well turned, just not quite quick enough. So on the fielder's choice, the new man in, Brett Griffiths, will take up the place at first base. 1 down now.
This week, we've turned a lot of double plays.
It has seemed
Wow,
like an awful
yeah.
lot more of that than usual. I did go back and look at the one from yesterday where Herky got called out. That was that was garbage.
No, yeah. He was safe.
A check of the runner. Griffiths aboard now, albeit on a fielder's choice. He's 3 for 4 so far on the season on stolen base attempts. So far this year had gone 0 for 3, or this week rather had gone 0 for 3. That one roped to the left side, knocked down by Velders. He'll take the play across the diamond to first, and Herky can't quite dig out the throw. Dejected look from Jesse Velders at 3rd base. Did all the tough stuff. Of course, it is a long throw across the diamond there, but it looks like Herky's as mad at himself as anybody on that one. So that'll put Oscar Nevares over at first base now as Griffiths moves up to 2nd. First error of the day against DVC fielders. And it puts 2 aboard with 1 down, and the top of the lineup coming up now in the form of Chris Catalano. Deep crouch for the center fielder. He swings through the first offering, bending away from the outside corner of the plate from Neely, 0-1. Catalano so far 0 for 3 today, although he did reach his last time up on the Liam, oh, my correction, okay, second error today because there was the Liam Neely throwing error back in the 5th. Thus far, just a single unearned run scored by Folsom Lake today. Sieg's going to take a look over at first. That one almost in time. Wow. Herky absolutely incensed his pitcher confidence, and this is the sort of situation now where really you need to feel good about the guy behind the plate if you're going to throw down in the zone.
Oh, yes.
And so important to be able to operate down in the zone for a team that loves to try to put the ball in the air and has the power to do something with that, to stay down and make it tough to get under it. It's been very valuable. 2-1 the count. That one, though, is in the air. Williamson, a few steps back, gets himself in position to deal with a tag-up, but Griffiths never had any intention. He was a few steps away from second base when Williamson squeezed it. And so that'll just be a simple F8, 2 down now in the away 7th. And Neely looking to get out of this inning unscathed. Particularly worthwhile to focus on the guy at the dish right now because J.T. Walden, Logan Sutter, and Nate Vargas come up behind him. They are hitting .430, .329, and .397 and have 11 home runs between them to go along with, I'm doing the math in my head, 82 RBIs so far. So, yeah, let's go after the guy who's hitting .295 and has knocked in 5.
Oh, yeah.
Very important at bat here. He puts that one in the air. Williamson charging, but he won't get there. Has it on a hop, and Griffiths is going to come around to score. Herky cuts it off, and a big opportunity here for Folsom Lake as they put up run number 2 on the day. But now with 2 aboard and 2 down, we'll have the danger part of their order coming up. That RBI single is going to give Folsom Lake a little bit of belief here. And here comes J.T. Walden. We'll recap the resume for him coming into action today. We mentioned before, Walden, Vargas, and Sutter, the next 3 batters, are all in the top 5 in runs scored in the state. Walden 22nd in the state right now in average, 17th in slugging. And that's all despite the rough patch that he's been going through as of late. He's your state leader in total bases and in extra base hits. Takes the first delivery off the plate, 1-0. So far today, Vikings have largely held him in check. He had a single with 2 down and the bases empty in the first. Since then, a pop-out and a fly-out. Although that fly-out certainly scared the dickens out of us, as that was the one that chased Hildy all the way back to the track. That one in the dirt from Neely. Another great block from Sieg.
Big block.
2-0 the count here on Walden. Tough thing is that it's tempting to think about trying to pitch, around Walden and then deal with Logan Sutter. But even with the difference in their averages being 101 points, Sutter's actually the one who's hotter right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, came into today 5 for his last 12, all 5 of them extra base hits, 3 doubles, a triple, and a home run.
Jeez.
So very much a pick your poison situation right now. Here comes the 2-0. Out on the ground to the right side, just past the diving Christian Herkame, and in fair territory, and now down into the corner. That's going to bring in a run, but good work in the corner by Chase Hildy. That'll limit it to just 1 run coming in, but now 2 in scoring position. With 2 down, Walden has finally broken out and done the damage that he's capable of. 2 for 4 now today with a double and an RBI to his name. So we know we have Velasquez out in the bullpen alongside Logan Wortman. We'll see if this is the moment that the Vikings elect to bring one of them in. Additionally, might be about to have a defensive substitution as Keone Takahashi has come out to join the conference on the mound. Harmon Sadu out for that discussion. So Velasquez alongside the performance we talked about before. Liam Neely giving you guys an inning on Thursday. The 4 from the man just to my right here, Christian Machado. But Velasquez was the one who slammed the door on that one with the 2-inning save.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
at
that
the
was
end.
nice. That was a great save from him.
It was a tough day. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was the afternoon where where there were 14 runs scored in the third inning, right? Like 8 by
Yes,
DVC and then
that was-
6
yeah.
by Sac City.
In the same inning. This is the
Goofy,
crazy part.
goofy.
Yeah.
So it looks like Herkame is going to leave the game. Keone Takahashi in his place. Liam Neely, however, stays put on the mound as Harmon Sadu departs from the conference. So the one substitution there, we'll get that updated on our own information. And so your defensive alignment for DVC now, Velders, Marion, Horton, and Takahashi from third to first. Outfield, same as it ever was, Fuentes, Williamson, and Hildy. Sieg behind the plate giving the signs to Liam Neely as he digs in against Logan Sutter. Puts that one in the air to the right side, chases Hildy back towards the track. Hildy will make the catch just in front of the wall, and that will end the top.